Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my video. Today I'm going to be doing a deck review for the Black Arcane deck.
Do you want me to?
Okay, so this is going to be a deck review, my very first one, and I have been researching and I've been watching some other people's YouTube videos to see how they review their decks, and I realized one thing: they never rate the decks. So what I'll be doing in my deck reviews, I'll be dividing the sections into 5 different categories. Number 1, I'm going to look at the design. Number 2, I'm going to look at how the cards handle. Number 3, I'm going to talk about some extra things like how if they have double backers or if they have a thin stock or thick, if they have any reveals or anything like that. And number 4, I'm going to talk about some cons, some bad things about this type of deck. And then number 5, but least, I'm going to talk about the price and if it's reasonable or not. So for my very first one, I'm going to be doing a Black Arcane deck review. It's Illusionist from illusionist.com. It's an amazing deck. I think this is actually my very first non-bicycle deck, and it's been holding up pretty well. So first I'm going to talk about the box. The box, at the front, it looks stunningly amazing. I love all the details and all the smoky feeling the deck has at the front. At the very front, it says Arcane playing cards, and that's the Ace of Spades in the front. And at the very back, this is what the cards would look like. Every single cards look like this. They have these weird symbols. I don't know if I can read these. They're not English, so probably not. And yeah, that's what it looks like. They have this 4 circles intertwining in the middle and 2 scrolls looking things at the bottom, at the top, and the top. And I don't know if that's a bicycle or not. I can't really tell. Or that's like a symbol, like an arrow symbol. Yeah, that's an arrow symbol, not a bicycle, I'm sorry. But that's what the back looks like. The side, it says Arcane and playing cards on one side. And on the other side, it says Performance Coding, the Illusionist Playing Cards Company. Yeah, I don't have the best camera in the world, so it's not going to focus that well, but hopefully that's going to focus. And at the bottom, it has a typical illusionist.com logo, and it tells what it is and all details. So that's the box, and I would say if I'm rating this box out of 10, I would rate around 8.5, and it's a really nice feeling box. It's right. And now let's go to the cards. So, as I said, cards look quite amazing. They feel great. And every single card has a back design that has the exact same design as the back of the box, like so. So I'm not going to go over that because I just talked about it. So let's go and talk about some of the things. So it comes with 2 jokers, a double backer, and an ad card. That's like a typical illusionist card. So here are 4 pips. I'm going to talk about the kings first. So let's go with the spades first, all right? So it's King of Spades. It has this ghosty feeling at the back. I love it. And I love how it's all black and white. I think it looks perfect and it feels amazing. And when you perform with this, I feel like it gives some mysterious feeling and adds on to it, right? So that's the King of Spades. King of Hearts. And I love how they made it so that the hearts or the red pips stand out. And I feel like they kind of copied, or they're doing something similar, very similar to the Black Tigers deck, but it's a bit different. I can't tell what's different, but it just looks really nice with the red and the black background and the ghosty feeling with the white things. They did a really good job. And these are the other pips or other face cards that looks like this: the King of Diamonds and King of Clubs. So that's what the Royals look like. And let's go talk about the number cards. So red number cards, the hearts and the diamonds, they look like this, right? They're all red with a black background. That's what it looks like with this kind of back on the cards. That's what it looks like. And let's see, the clubs and the spades. It's kind of grayish looking, and it has a smoky feeling on the pip on this side, right? If you look at it, it's white on the left, and as you go to the right, it becomes more dark, right? So I love the smoky feeling that the illusionist put into this deck, right? So, and last but not at least, the Ace of Spades. That's what it looks like. Again, you have the black and the white smoky feeling, and for Ace of Spades, this is what the box would look like, except the background. It still has a smoky feeling, but I love it. It says Arcane playing cards at the bottom, middle bottom, right there, and it has a scroll looking thing, just enveloping the Ace of Spades. So that's what the cards look like. I would say I'm going to have to give these cards around 8. They are good, but when you're performing, the spectators have some hard time looking at the cards, right? So now for last in the category of design, I'm going to talk about the fan. So for the fan from the back, this is what it looks like. It is not the best. I don't really like this fan just because that it doesn't have the nice design. Like when I look for fans, I look for these patterns that looks really nice when you fan them out, but I don't see that in this deck, right? And if you fan them out this way, this is what it looks like. I like this fan a lot better. I love the idea how they have the red pips and the grayish looking pips, and if you just look at them, it looks really mysterious. And if you are a magician who wants that kind of feeling when they perform, I think this is a deck for you. So for fans, although they look really nice, I would give them maybe 7 or 7.5. I would give them 7, okay? And I'm gonna see if I can do a giant fan. I haven't done these in a while, but that's what a giant fan would look like, right? I guess giant fan looks a lot better than the actual fan itself, but I don't know. I'm not a great fan of this fan, haha. But anyways, let's move on to the next category, which is handling. So let's talk about some shuffling. Shuffle is great. They have a really thin stock, so right off the bat, as soon as you open the deck of cards, you're gonna feel it. They're really soft, and it feels like, you know how those bicycle decks, when you open a new deck of bicycle, they're really stiff. You don't get that feeling. It's really it feels like you've broken the deck already. They have a thin stock, but they have a really durable thin stock. That's what I love about it. So shuffles, I would give them around 8.5 or 8.5. And color changes, let's go and do some color changes. So let's say I have the 7 of diamonds. And if I just rub it like that, it becomes a king of, or the jack of spades, I'm sorry. But I think for arcanes, it looks a lot better if you go from dark to the red pip or red cards, like so, right? That was the Cardini change. And if I do a bottoms up kind of change like that, whoops, what just happened? What? Oh, okay, now I see what I did. So it goes like from here, 4 of clubs to the king of clubs. Yeah, I made a mistake there. I totally forgot. But anyways, color changes look okay, I guess. Let's do a shade change. Let's have a red card and a black card. So this is what it looked like. 1, 2, 3. Going gray to red looks really nice. But if I'm doing red to gray, it doesn't look as nice. I don't think it looks nice. So for color changes, I would have to give them 7. Like, they look good, but then I think it's a bit too dark on the gray cards, so it doesn't look as nice. And let's talk about some card springs. I'm not the best card springer, but I can still spring cards pretty well. But because of the thin stocks, I feel like it's a lot easier than the bicycle deck of cards. They just feel natural, and it doesn't stress. Like, if you do card springs, you'll know what I mean. Like, after you do them for a while, like, you will feel it on your thumb, like right here, and it sometimes bothers me, but I don't feel that at all when I'm springing these decks of cards. So I would say I would give these guys 9, and then when you spring the cards, it just looks so nice. Like, the image just jumps out, like, in a way. It's hard to explain, but that's what I see. And some cuts. Obviously, cuts are gonna be fine when you're doing some handling. Like these, without any exceptions, I can do most cuts really easily, right? I can still do them quite well. And these dribble pretty well as well. So cuts, I would give them 9.5. And farrowing, last but not least. If you can't farrow a deck of cards, then you're not a deck of cards. So it farrows very nicely, right? That's what it did, what it looks like. Let's do a close-up. It's hard to do it looking into the camera and farrowing at the same time, but that's what it would look like, right? It farrows very nicely, and I love it. Shuffling is amazing. Farrow, I would give 9.5. By the way, as soon as you open the deck, you're gonna feel it you can tell that it's very different from the bicycle decks. Like, it's really oily in a way. I don't know what it is, but it feels like it's not fan powder or card powder. I forgot what they're called, but it's not that. It has this oily feeling that makes the cards really smooth, and I think it's like a protective layer. I'm not too sure. Now, some extras. This deck does come with a double backer, I'm sorry. So it's useful. I think all illusionist.com or illusionist cards come with a double backer, so I love it. And it does come with a reveal. So if you look at the jokers, it's like a devil coming out of hell, a ring of hell, I think. And it says Arcane on this joker, but then on this joker, it says the 3 of hearts. Right? So what you can do is you can say, all right, so this joker right now is saying the arcane, but then maybe you chose these 3 of hearts instead, right? So you can do something like that, like a mentalist kind of trick. So you can do that. And that's the reveal. Those are the reveal. I don't think there's one on a deck on the box, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, the stock. It's not the thinnest stock I felt. Like, Virtuoso decks are a lot thinner, but I guess those are for flourishes, so that makes sense. But I think it's between Virtuoso and the Bicycle decks. Maybe closer to the Virtuoso, because Bicycle decks are really thick, right, when you see them, but these are really thin. Okay? Now, moving on to some cons. Because these are black cards, over time, they're going to wear off. So I didn't really use them that much, but here's an example. So see how the white part's showing? The black ink came off from this card. That's what happens if you use the cards for too long, or if you're farrowing really rough, or you're doing a shuffle and you kind of mess up. Then the bottom card, like the edge of the card, is going to come off eventually, right? But that's for all black cards. So I think that's the only con that I can think of. Maybe the fan doesn't look as bad, but it does fan out really nicely, so I cannot complain about that. And let's talk about the price. So I'm going to compare the prices from 3 different places. Art of Play doesn't really sell, like, only place that actually sells these cards is the illusionist.com. And right now they go for $7.49 plus shipping. So depending on where you are, the prices are going to vary from maybe $9 to like maybe $14. I'm not too sure, but the shipping is very expensive, and I live in Canada, so I have to I think I pay a bit more because it's international shipping. But anyways, so Illusionist, it's $7.49. And I looked at Amazon. They're a bit more expensive. They're $9.99. I mean, you expect that, right? Illusionist made these cards, so it would be cheapest at the illusionist.com. And at the Amazon, it's $9.99 plus shipping as well. So if you want to buy these cards, Illusionist would be better than the Amazon. But I actually went on eBay and found a great deal just now, which is $9.99 but free shipping. So basically, depending on where you live, the prices are going to vary, right? Because of the shipping fee. But then if you're living in like UK or I don't know, Britain, or I'm not too sure where you guys live. Like, it depends on where you live, right? And since delusionist.com plane company, or their headquarters is located in US, if you live outside of US, then you'll have to pay for the international shipping fee. So in that case, you should buy them from eBay, because right now there is a great deal of free shipping right now for $9.99. So you can grab these for this nice deck of cards for $9.99. And now let's talk about my personal opinion of this card, as if, right? So I like these cards, but to be honest, I've never performed them, just because I don't want to ruin these cards. They look incredibly nice. They feel nice. So what I usually do is I just keep them in with all my other cards, and I don't really play around with these cards. I just look at them and just collect them in a way, right? That's what other magicians or cardists do. They just collect cards even though they don't play with it. And for me, I don't recommend people to, perform with these cards, because number one, so many people, a lot of people, they're used to seeing the bicycle deck. So if you're using red or blue, you'll be fine. But then if you're using a different card, like different deck of cards that's like black and has a weird symbol on the back, they're going to think that these cards are rigged. So they're not going to trust you, and they're going to say, you're not a true magician, you're just using a rigged deck of cards, right? So I don't really recommend using these cards, but I think if you're a deck collector, I highly recommend you buying these cards. So anyways, this is my very first deck review. Tell me how you thought about it, and tell me if you love the idea about dividing this whole thing into 5 different categories, and leave all your comments in the comment section below and give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe. So I'll see you next time. Peace.